In this video, I will share with you some things you need to be mindful of to be successful long term. I want to alert you to some ways this can all go off the rails. Building momentum and sustaining it are two different things. Your old habits are still there, lurking behind the scenes, and your old narratives are not gone, but instead waiting. The old you is always ready to reemerge if you open the door wide enough. You must guard against it. Do not live in denial that the old you still wants to stage a comeback. All it needs is for you to set aside your mindfulness for just a few days for it to begin its return. I'm going to break down 3 scenarios that can stall and reverse your progress and let these monsters in the closet reemerge. Up until now, I've provided everything you need to create a slow, steady transformation with the focus on using the shift for weight loss. But you can apply the same process to so many areas in your life. Which brings us to the first of 3 major ways you can derail your progress without realizing it. The first, overstacking. Too much, too fast, too soon. Because shifts are so easy and consume barely any time, and can be applied so readily to many aspects of our lives outside of weight loss, you can feel caught up in the momentum, and without realizing it, pile on too many at once. All those shifts you overstacked will run just fine, and you'll feel on top of the world until you hit a snag, such as a bad night's sleep, having weekend plans suddenly change, or other matters out of your control. These snags in life frequently occur, and when they do, they derail the conscious shifts you are making, and it means you have overstacked. I was at one point trying to meditate before bed, eat according to my shifts, train for my 10K, and run about 5 other shifts in different areas of my life. The end result? I was doing none of these shifts with 100% consistency. Every night I went to bed remembering there was 1 or 2 I forgot to do. Shifting is about consistency and developing daily habits. If you find you have shifts that you are not nailing 100% of the time, set those aside for now. Keep the ones you are nailing 100% until they are unconscious habits and become part of your natural routine. If you are new to shifting, limit yourself to just 2 or 3 shifts at a time at the max, ideally 2. What? You think 2 is not a lot? Is 2 life-changing habits at the same time really not enough? Think about it. We are running shifts for the impact they have, not for the sake of running shifts. By running too many shifts at once, it cannot have the same impact. The other real danger of overstacking is that as you fail 1 or 2 shifts, it robs you of so much momentum. When that happens, our previous habits wake up and start running their old narratives in our minds. If you are in denial that you still have these lurking monsters eager to claw forth, you will not recognize them when they start to appear. The narrative they give you will sound so benevolent. Just skip it today. You have so much going on. Just eat a little something for comfort. I can just start shifting again anytime I want. We are so very good at telling ourselves perfectly rational reasons to stay or fall back in our ruts. That's why we call them ruts. Easy to slip into, difficult to step out of. Limit yourself to running 2, perhaps 3 shifts at one time. Do not add additional shifts until you are certain those shifts are now an unconscious habit and have fully consolidated into a daily routine. That way, you will always avoid overstacking. Hurdle number 2, major negative life events. Shifting and constantly improving yourself in mindful yet small ways should have the added benefit of leaving you mentally and emotionally more resilient. But even with that being the case, there will be life events that impact us painfully or tragically that are completely out of our control. In these times, focus again on just keeping 2 shifts strong and going. During difficult times, doing a couple of positive things a day can help you get through it, and even sometimes inspire those around you who share your situation. Do not turn a tragedy or setback in your life into a setback for your life. Sometimes you just have to give yourself the things other people do not, and sometimes that's just a push to keep moving forward. So when you have a moment during this crisis in your life, stop, take stock. What are my active shifts? Let's limit them to 1 or 2. Ensure that they are simple and not at all time consuming. Run them or adopt new ones that you can actually run during this time. One suggestion, just switch your shifts to meditating 2 full minutes before sleep each night. This is often enough to keep your mind in the mindful improvement state you need to maintain. Then you'll get through your crisis and you'll still be shifting. Remember, you are always either improving or falling back. There is no staying put. That is the reality of our lives. Hurdle 3, success. Shifting is the opposite of making all at once huge life changes, but it will, when run consistently over time, stack up and provide huge victories and achievements. You'll hit major milestones. After a year of weight loss and running, I completed my first 10K race in October 2022. It was truly the capstone on a year of consistent effort and transformation. And all this with a serious heart condition. Just 12 months prior to that race, I was not able to walk up from my basement to my bedroom without stopping on the landing for a few breaths. Now I'm taking the stairs 2 at a time, not even noticing them. With that finisher medal around my neck, I felt this incredible sense of accomplishment and self-satisfaction. Then for some reason, I stopped training for a bit. I had this huge win under my belt, and instead of filling me with momentum, my whole psyche fell for this trap of deserving to take a rest. Take it easy for a while. That was my old way of thinking, always there lurking and looking for opportunities to exert control again. Old you will use tragedy and success in your life equally. Old you can sound benevolent and logical. Time to rest. You deserve a treat. Well, maybe you do, and maybe you do it. Forgive yourself and move on. But the next day, old you will be all the more powerful. The voice of procrastination and stagnancy. That's the old you. Gaining momentum by stealing it from you. Do not let old you sap your momentum. The fix is mindfulness and not being in denial that the old you is still around and fighting for control. A real friend does not tell a formerly obese person they deserve a treat, but our own voice in our own head during our best days, when we are at our highest, will do exactly that. Old you will say things in the most benevolent of voices, perfectly timed to ensure your agreement. Time to celebrate by indulging in some old crappy habits we've worked so hard to bury. Be mindful when setting out to achieve a big dream that afterwards you will hear such advice from your own self. If you are doing a huge event, let's say you're doing your first 10K, decide ahead of time on what your celebration will look like, and then stick to that and only that. It is highly imperative that the very next day you restart your shifts, so make sure that it is part of your plan going in. In the movie Conan the Barbarian, the wizard cautioned that success will test one's mettle as surely as the finest steel. This is so very true. Think of all those celebrities we have seen lose weight so publicly for a huge role, only to later gain it back quietly. They are just like us in that sense. Shifting is about constant improvement. It's not about improving, getting a win, and then taking a few weeks off. It's about mindful, small, effortless shifts you repeat daily to build and maintain momentum in your life towards self-improvement. For those that clicked and watched this video, I'm really glad you did. I appreciate the time you have given to listen to my techniques. I'll do more videos going forward, but these videos are the fundamental, and I want to assure you that I am still shifting and still maintaining and improving health. My course to teach you to shift has concluded, and now I will share something personal with you. In the video linked at the end, you will see a major life event that happened for me in my AFib channel, the true story about how shifting impacted my heart condition and overall health that came about in a surprising way. I hope you achieve the same level of success, and remember, it is never a race. It's a process. Trust the process. Work the process. Constantly improve. Shifts, mindful at first, become habits. Habits integrate into your routine. You are what you repeatedly do, but most importantly, you become what you repeatedly do. All the best, your friend, Big Northern Bear.